So I just finished watching the entire season of True Detective Night Country on HBO Max. Does it live up to fans' expectations, or does it fall flat from messy, unanswered questions? Let's get started on my review of the fourth season of True Detective titled True Detective Night Country. Let's go. What's going on, all my Flicksters? My name is Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and today I'm going to be giving you my full review on the whole season of True Detective Night Country. Once again, it stars Jodie Foster, Kaylee Reese, apologies before as I pronounced it wrong in my first episode review, Christopher Eccleston, John Hawkes, and a few others. Now, before I do get started, please know that this will be a spoiler-free review of this season. And please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on new videos I'm always uploading. All right, so the True Detective series hasn't always hit a home run with every single season that's come out. With the first season being close to perfect, in my opinion, I understand that it could be hard to follow up with. More in particular, the second season I kind of thought was a dud because of the story plus character flaws that didn't always do the season justice. However, the third season got right back on track and I found for the most part enjoyable and pretty good. Now, with the fourth season and with the original creator Nick Pizzolatto not returning, this gave Issa Lopez a fresh start and a new slate to start on. I give her credit for some of the creative choices that she decided to make for the fourth season, although it doesn't always explain things or even come to a satisfying conclusion in the end. We'll get to that in a bit. I did, however, enjoy, for the most part, the scary elements and even just a lot of the characters in this season, especially episodes 1 through 5, which this season does just have 6 episodes in total. I'll also get to that in a bit. But the acting and cinematography is pretty top notch, and I will say that. Jodie Foster is excellent in this role, along with Kaylee Reese, who is a newcomer and kind of new to acting overall. I think she stood up pretty well next to Jodie Foster in her role. I also did enjoy not only the chemistry between the two, but also the episodes where Jodie Foster's character Liz Danvers and Finn Bennett's rookie cop character Peter Pryor, who would definitely have dialogue back and forth about asking the right questions on any particular case. Now, although one could point out and argue the social commentary on this season's stance about mental health, spirituality, and even pollution, the core of what this case is about brings these characters together as we try to figure it out along with them what happened in this particular case, one which also links it with the previous case 6 years prior to that. Now, I will say that creator Issa Lopez does a good job in integrating the supernatural element into this case as the show goes on. A lot of the spirits and visions that the characters happen to see are there to stand as a forewarning, but I will say, as far as kind of the negatives, it doesn't always come together, especially in the finale. And as the show goes on and you start to figure out more about this case as well as the characters, I will say that Issa Lopez did a good job on creating weight and depth with these characters, with their past traumas kind of getting in the way of the story and also holding as a footnote to most of the season. Which leads me to the negatives. Like I stated before, this season is just 6 episodes long, and although I don't feel like every show needs to have more than 6 episodes, at the end of the season you can definitely see how they should have had at least 2 to 3 episodes more to lead up to the conclusion that the season leads up to. Otherwise, you do get the feeling that the last episode crammed everything into an hour and 15 minutes, and even then, there are still some loose ends that never really get an answer. I also feel like with certain ties to the first season, which is a fan favorite, right? We are led to believe that there is a connection between this fourth season and the first season, only to find out that there is no connection. Some of the references to the first season do feel like they were in this season just to practically bait fans of the first season into watching this one. The payoff overall just felt a little bit underwhelming. Even in the rushed conclusion with certain details, whether in the imagery throughout the show or even with the supernatural element, it never really gives you an explanation. It almost felt like this season had so much potential to be great, but often ended up asking more questions than having answers for those questions. Now, I will say with that, Issa Lopez may have wrote this show to be more ambiguous and open to interpretation on purpose. It did seem like there was too much of it throughout this season, and especially for a rushed conclusion, it just didn't really satisfy me as far as being a true detective fan. Now, with all that being said, though, you guys, I still think this show was enjoyable for the most part, for most of the episodes. But let me preface that by saying that I am one for shows and films that don't always have an answer for everything. Although I do admit that there are glaring flaws in this season, and the ending did seem rushed, with certain things just shoehorned in just to give a conclusion. It's definitely not perfect, but I'm going to go ahead and give True Detective Night Country 3.5 flames out of 5 and a pretty fire rating.
It's nice.
Now, here's where I ask you guys what you thought about the show. What did you like about it, or what didn't you like about it? What are some of the biggest unanswered questions that you felt hampered the show? And what did you feel was annoying for the most part as far as those unanswered questions? I've been seeing some theories online about what people think happened, and I gotta say that some of those are pretty interesting and sound much better than how it kind of ended, to be honest. I will have a spoiler video coming out soon that will talk about some of these questions and whatnot and what you guys think happened. But let me know in the comments below, and last but not least, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name is Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and until next time, I'm out.